And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the North American International Livestock Exposition as we celebrate our 50th anniversary this year in 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, around ringside in Freedom Hall and standing in the makeup arena, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Classes 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9 of your black Herefords to the makeup arena immediately. Classes 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9 black Herefords to the makeup arena immediately. First call, Class 2 and 6 of your HX Female Show. First call, Class 2 and 6 of your HX Female Show of your Black Junior Herefords. Miniature Hereford entry number 5, Adeline Kaufman to the makeup arena. Adeline Kaufman to the makeup arena. Reminder to the miniature Hereford exhibitors, all of your shows will be held in Freedom Hall. Once again, all miniature Hereford exhibitors, all of your shows will be held in Freedom Hall.
Well, good morning. It's certainly an honor and a privilege to be here in Louisville, Kentucky, and just excited about judging the Mini Hereford show this morning. And what a great class to get started. These three youngsters bring us three outstanding individuals. Young lady and young man that end up going 1 and 2 in this class. It's a kind of a close decision for me, but more we get to analyzing these cattle. Young lady's heifer that's going to win. Yeah, she's the stouter one. She's bigger bodied. She's bolder over her top and up out of her hip. I think when you set her into motion, I think she's as comfortable on the ground as the young man's heifer in second. Where I prefer her, I think she's as good up through her hooks to her pins. You know, to me, the decision was, are we going to take a little more power and width over some length and extension? And I think when we start to combine the skeletal build and the comfortableness at the ground when you set them into motion and the power, I think we got to land on this one to win this particular class for this young lady. Young man's heifer here in second is a long, smooth, extended heifer of this particular group. She too, when you set her into motion, I like her reach off of both ends. She's very flexible up high, up and the way everything attaches. When you get in behind her, she's obviously not near as robust and shapely in her muscle pattern as the heifer that leads, but she does have that advantage in length and extension and look and balance, and so that's why there's a little bit of give and take between those two. The young lady that ends up coming in third, here's an awfully good one. I like this one's skeletal build. She's really good in her line. She's extended up through her front end, levelness over her top and out of her hip. She just doesn't come at us with the power and dimension as the heifers that go 1 and 2, but a high quality set of heifers to get our show started this morning. Compliments of those exhibitors.
Well, good morning here on the Black Hereford side. It's certainly an honor to be here working with your kids and their cattle today. We get started here in this first class with a really nice pair of heifer calves, and both, you know, I think have a lot of good, and time will tell. But today, I think the young lady's April heifer there has the edge. I think you study that one. Just a really stout-built young heifer here from the ground up. Big-footed, big boned. You like the rib shape to her at this age, and certainly excels in terms of width. We turn her to the side, still balances up pretty good in my mind. Maybe not quite as refined and feminine through her head and neck and her shoulder attachment as the young man's heifer in second, but sure a nice heifer there to lead off with. Young man's heifer in second, I think this one is, she's a Mayan, a little greener, and she should be. I think that one has a bright future, one that just is really feminine in that front third of her body, comes good in her spine. I think she is maybe even a little more athletic and flexible in the way she gets around the ring out here today. Just gets overmassed just a little bit, but I think in time and a little TLC, that could sure be a tough pair sorting on down the road.
Second call, Class 2 and 6 HX females. Second call, Class 2 and 6 HX females of your Black Herefords. First call, Class 6 Miniature Herefords. First call, Class 6 Miniature Herefords. This time, we'd like to introduce our judges here for the 50th anniversary of the North American here in Freedom Hall. The judge of your miniature Herefords today is Mr. Lionel Meyer of Clinton, Tennessee. Lionel is owner of Three Aces Cattle Company with his family Holly, Andrew, Annie, and Alyssa Meyer. He is a graduate of Texas Tech University and has judged numerous national and state level shows across the country. Your judge of your Black Hereford show today is Mr. Blake Nelson of Platte City, Missouri. Blake is the Executive Vice President of the American Maine and Jew Association. He grew up on a small eastern Oklahoma cow-calf operation. As a junior exhibited, he showed Brangus and Key cattle. He started his collegiate experience at Connors State College and finished at Oklahoma State University, where he was a member of championship livestock judging teams and worked with both the school's cattle operations. After graduation, he had the opportunity to go back to Connors in 2000 to be an instructor and livestock judging coach. From 2005 to 2015, he was the Connors State College Director of Farm Operations and Livestock Coordinator position, which involved overseeing the bull test station, 250 head cow herd, beef show team, and working with the nationally competitive livestock judging team. Blake has production experience working with many breeds. Personally, Mr. Nelson feels privileged to judge many shows per year. Some notable shows he has judged include the American Royal, the North American, the National Western, the Texas Majors, as well as Junior Nationals for most major breeds. Personally, Blake and his wife Ruth have been blessed with 2 children, Paisley, age 16, and Brigham, age 12. His kids are very active in 4-H and showing cattle in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our 2 judges today, Mr. Lionel Meyer and Mr. Blake Nelson.
We get into our second class here in our pre-junior show here on a mini Hereford side. Really nice duo of females here. The young ladies bring out the combination heifer of look, style, and balance and structural correctness. With enough power from end to end as the young ladies lead off heifer here. And that's the one thing that I certainly like about this one. I think she just puts so many nice things together in a really comfortable skeleton. She's really, where she excels, the heifer that ends up second, is in her shoulder design and how she carries that and transitions that into her knee and into the ground. She's really extended up through her front end. She's balanced from her chest floor back into her rear flank. She's good up over her top. She's got plenty enough shape. She's not as extremely wide as the heifer that ends up being second, but you talk about style, smoothness, and balance. I think she's sure one you can tie into. Love the width and dimension of the heifer that comes in second. She comes at us with a little more foot size and even bone and skeletal width, but with that, she comes at us a little coarser and more open up in that bottom part of that shoulder. We want to change her and just relax her a little bit more in the way that front leg comes out of the base of that shoulder, and when you set her into motion, she's not quite as comfortable and doesn't have quite as much reach off of that front end, but love the length and width and dimension and power in this heifer that ends up being second. Nice duo the young ladies bring us here in this class.
Well, here in this class, the Fallborn Black Hereford, or excuse me, F1 heifers, really nice trio of heifers here. I think all 3 of them good quality cattle. The one that leads off, I think today, just maybe a little further in the game and really puts together a lot of good pieces in my mind. She's a big ribbed one here that's big in her heart and carries it good through her lower body without any excess waste. Structurally moves pretty square in the way she goes and still gives you a nice, smooth, balanced look from the side. Just to me, checks a lot of boxes there. You think about the upside and what she puts together, along with having just a little more weight per day of age than the 2 directly behind her. Young lady's heifer here in second, really an attractive female. You love the angularity through her front end, the length of her top line, the levelness and smoothness out through truer hip, a heifer there that to me gives you a good silhouette. You know, maybe just flattens up a notch through a rib cage, not quite as just square and true the way she handles that hind leg on the stride. Young man's heifer in third. I like this heifer for being, you know, a little more moderate size female that has some spring and arch through a rib cage and thickness as you get in behind her. She's another one too that extends out pretty decent through that front end. Where she maybe falls out to the other two is just the way she handles the rear half of her skeleton. She wants to kind of drop her pins and duck that hind leg up underneath her. I'd like to see her just smoothed up in that tail head and just stride out just a little truer, a little stronger there on those back two when she gets out on the move.
Third and final call, HX Females Class 2 and 6. Third and final call, HX Females Class 2 and 6 of your Black Hereford Junior Show.
Really nice single entry here on our mini Hereford side. Once again, here's one that puts a lot of nice things together from a skeleton design standpoint. The levelness in her lines in the top part of her shoulder in relation to her hooks to pins and her spine. Boy, and then the way that shoulder blends nice and neatly into her body cavity and into that shoulder forerib juncture. A female that's really square off of both ends and has some added length of body and length of hip. And then with that, she's very proportional in the way her chest floor balances in her forerib and then back into her rear flank. Has some extension and femininity about her head and her neck. Just a really, really nice balanced female that combines a lot of nice things as far as that style and smoothness and look with enough shape and dimension over her top and up out of her hip. Really, really nice class winner for this young man.
Results of your National American Black Hereford Junior Show. Your Class 1 winner and also your Reserve Division 1 champion goes to entry number 2, SKLN Diamond 4L, exhibited by Rory Burney of Cadiz, Ohio. Your Division 1 champion and Class 2 winner goes to entry number 5, PPH BLK Salute Parable L22, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. First call, Class 2, 3, and 6 percentage females. First call, Class 2, 3, and 6 percentage females of your Black Herefords. Results of your miniature Hereford show. Your Class 1 results in first place goes to entry number 2, Tay Jean, exhibited by Tessa Taylor. In second place, entry number 3, Tay Kate, exhibited by Tate Taylor. In third place, entry number 1, JCF Crimson Glory, exhibited by Collins Oswalt. Your Class 2 results. In first place, entry number 4, AK Cruella 204, exhibited by Ava Henderson. In second place, entry number 5, Double E Jolly, exhibited by Adeline Kaufman. Second call, Class 6, Miniature Herefords. Second call, Class 6.
Boy, just another outstanding single entry here on our mini Hereford side. Here's some added power and some look and balance. And one that I really appreciate the actual width of chest and the way she extends that all the way back in the lower part of her body cavity. You get in behind her, she's got some spread over her top and her spread from her hooks to her pins, just that added skeletal width. And then she combines that with some added length of hip and length of body, and then some smoothness of pattern, the way that shoulder blends in. And when this heifer gets out on the move, she's very elegant in the way she handles herself off of both ends. High quality female to represent this particular class, and an outstanding class winner for this young man.
Third and final call, Class 2, 3, and 6 percentage females. Third and final call, Class 2, 3, and 6 percentage females of your American Black Hereford Junior Show.
Well, I think we get out in this pair of heifers, and to me, it's a close decision. But I'll tell you what I see in them today. For me, the young lady's heifer leads off. Just comes at us a little fresher out here today in her appearance, and just studying her in terms of condition. Another place that I really like this heifer, I think she's one just a little more length of body all the way through, and particularly handling her hip, her tail head, and her hind leg just a little better in the way she goes out here this morning. I appreciate that, the depth of body she has. I think the place the brockle-faced heifer excels her is from the point of her shoulder back to her hook bone. She just maintains a little more levelness. But after that, to me, there wasn't any big glaring advantages. I just like the added length, and I think she's just moving out a little more comfortable in the way that she goes, the heifer that leads off out here today. The young man's heifer in second, like I said, I like that levelness she has in her top. I'd like to tone her down in that tail head and push that down in her just a little bit. She's one, I think, as you study her, we got to keep an eye on her chest and neck, just getting a little chubbier there, but starting to get into that age where maybe she's going to just look a little more cowy. And I can appreciate the cowiness, but when you've got two high-quality heifers here, that's just some of the things that come into play, that added freshness of the heifer that leads off. Two nice heifers here, really good cattle. Let's give them a hand.
Third and final call, Class 6 miniature Herefords. Third and final call, Class 6. This is your first call, Class 7. First call, Class 7 miniature Herefords. Results of class number 5 of your National American Black Hereford Junior Show. In first place and also your Division II champion goes to entry number 10, LCFCC Suite 1717, exhibited by Caitlin Cole of Lancaster, Kentucky. Your reserve Division II champion goes to entry number 9, JM Miss On Level 4790, exhibited by Marilyn Igg of Canesville, Missouri. In third place, entry number 8, RCC John Cash 7219, exhibited by Colt Thomas of Phil Campbell, Alabama. Results of Class 7 of your American Black Hereford Junior Show. In first place goes to entry number 14, CBD Miss Fergie, exhibited by Ben Eady of Long Grove, Oklahoma. In second place, entry number 13, LJR Miss Calwinga 3397K, exhibited by Colin Wilson of Cave Springs, Arkansas.
Wow, what another really nice pair of mini Hereford heifers. And here's a little give and take in this particular duo, because I think we got one that's going to lead off that's really smooth and athletic, and we got one that ends up being second that's really powerful and really neat to look at, especially on the standstill. And that's the big thing in my mind. I think both of these heifers offer a lot of quality. But to me, I think the deciding factor for me is when we set them into motion and just structural correctness. The one that leads off, she's so balanced in her line, she's smooth, but she doesn't have quite the power as our heifer here in second. But where she has a big advantage, that shoulder sits back into her a lot nicer, back closer to that 45-degree angle. She's got more natural reach off of that front end. She's more comfortable in the way she handles that hind leg, keeps it within her body cavity, and she still maintains enough power and smoothness, I think, to qualify qualify to win this particular class. A really big top, big hip, big bodied one. Here comes second. But when we set her into motion, she gets a little stiffer up high. She's not quite as coordinated when that hind leg hits the ground. And to me, when on the standstill, that shoulder blade just rocks a little more forward, gets a little more erect right there in that knee. So we just like to relax her a little more, but an outstanding duo of females.
Another really high quality pair of these junior yearling heifers, and I mean this heifer that leads off, she ought to get your attention. It doesn't matter what breed. If you like beef cattle, you ought to really appreciate a lot of good that she puts together. I mean, just huge in terms of her rib cage and middle, and you know, from that, one that's still very athletic in the way she goes, steps her track, gets out there and flexes and reaches with ease. We come on up from there, and you know, still proportions. And she's another one, you know, maybe not just quite as just rocket fronted or neat in her chest yet as some, but I still think it's feminine, it's maternal, I think is the best way to put it. Fits into her body, the way her front end flows into that big old middle and comes back to a big full hip there with a lot of length and extension. You know, obviously showing some signs of being further along with the calf. Just a lot of good in that one. The young man's heifer in second, I think she's going to make him an awfully nice breeding piece, because this one to me combines some things that often don't go together. She not only has a neat look from the side, but you step in behind this old girl and she's wide base, she's bold bodied and pretty thick ended and has some true natural muscling to her, and you know, something you can build off of. And still, although she maybe doesn't move quite as athletic as our class winner, she wants to maybe swivel that hock in on that back end just a little bit and a little more forward in her knee. Still has some good to her and certainly some breeding value. So nice pair of heifers here in this class. I think as we get out here in this division, just really pleased, you know, to be down in on the green chips in Freedom Hall is, to me, one of the most special places in the world to not only exhibit cattle, but to get to judge them. And you see 4 heifers here that's certainly deserving of coming down that ramp and getting exhibited out here. You guys that have bred these, knows that own them and care for them, and if you're all the same, that's even better. But y'all should be commended, because these heifers come out here and can run with any of them. Extremely good class winners, but I think with that being said, there's still one for me, just kind of out handles everything, and one I like awfully well, but you're not ashamed or throwing any rocks at my reserve division or any of these heifers in this group. Those all 4 are special heifers in my mind. I'm going to go ahead and use our oldest one for our division champ, follow up with the younger heifer in this division for reserve. Let's give these kids a round of applause, please.
Second call, Class 7 Miniature Herefords. Second call, Class 7 Miniature Herefords. Results of Class 3 of your miniature Hereford show. In first place, entry number 6, SBW Miss Best Mini You Ever Had, exhibited by Deacon James. Your Class 4 results. In first place, entry number 7, SBW SS Berry Appealing, exhibited by Connor Neal. Your Class 5 results. In first place, entry number 8, Miss Wendy W., exhibited by Deacon James. In second place, entry number 9, SS Miss Hallie Jean, exhibited by Connor Neal. Now exhibiting in the miniature Hereford ring is a selection of your champion and pre-junior heifer. I get it. Very appealing. Okay, get it. See?
Well, we get out here for our division champion here in the F1 category, and just really nice lineup of heifers. I think as you study each division winner in the reserves, you're impressed with the function of the cattle. But we have some heifers with that to me gets past the basics with some extra presence and style and quality that are just sure impressive. Again, an awfully good lineup. Our calf champion, really impressed with the stoutness of build for that heifer grade, just the bone work, the width, the body shape, and still has some balance and ring presence to her. You know, maybe does have a nickel more shoulder as you'd expect, and not perfectly good through that pin set yet with that added power, but I think awfully nice. The young lady's heifer right in the middle, another one there that to me is sure impressive in terms of her body shape, her structural soundness. Another one we turn to the side and proportions out pretty good. Maybe could just be thinned up a nickel in that neck just to hook into her body, just to make her perfect. But I think that one's awfully good and certainly a competitor out here in the drive. Then we get to our oldest heifer out here, and as I just stated in that division, just overwhelming in terms of just what she brings in terms of body type, function with added style and presence, and just a lot of cowiness to me with certainly that show ring girl appeal. So appreciate her and a good lineup. Let's give these kids a round of applause. I'll go select your champions.
Results of Class 7 of your American Black Hereford Junior Show. In first place goes to entry number 14, CBD Miss Fergie, exhibited by Ben Eady of Lone Grove, Oklahoma. In second place, entry number 13, LJR Miss Coinga, 3397, exhibited by Colin Wilson of Caden Springs, Arkansas. Your Class 9 results. In first place, entry number 15, PPH BLK Style and Jewels K8, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. In second place, entry number 16, SKL Sugar 2202K, exhibited by Rory Burning of Cadiz, Ohio. Your Division 3 champion goes to entry number 15, PPH BLK Style and Jewels K8, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Your Reserve Division 3 champion goes to entry number 14, CBD Miss Fergie, exhibited by Ben Eady of Lone Grove, Oklahoma.
Here in our miniature Hereford side, what an outstanding lineup. We are getting ready to pick our first champion of the morning. This is our pre-junior. Heifer show, and just the first thing is, wow, we weren't overblessed with numbers, but we get all these firsts and seconds back out here. My compliments to these youngsters and their families and the breeders of these, because this is quite impressive. It's an impressive set of cattle, impressive set of kids, and an impressive presentation of these cattle. So first and foremost, my compliments to all you guys. And we'll run down each one of these, because I think each one of these heifers deserves just a quick comment. Young lady heifer that wins that first class, that's a stout made one that I think is still very comfortable at the ground. And with all that power, she still maintains some balance and symmetry and smoothness. And I think that's what really makes her unique. In any breed of what you're wanting to do, we want some look, and we want some balance, but we want the power to go along with it. So I think that heifer does that really, really nice. Young lady does a great job getting that one pulled together. A little different mold, but one that hit me pretty hard when she come in the ring. The young lady's out of this class too. This is one that's really, really good made. In a skeleton design standpoint, she's so comfortable at the ground. She's smooth, she's angular, but yet with all that balance, she maintains some muscular shape up high from her hooks to her pins and down low. She has some turn to that loin edge, some real nice curvature to that lower part of that rib cage, maintains that balance in her lower chest floor. There's so much future in that heifer there. I like her quite a bit. We run into another pair of heifers that come out of class 3 and 4 that were single entries. Heifers that got some added dimension and power to them, two that have that little extra that look and extension. The heifer out of class 3 is one that I really like her smoothness. She's a little bit kind of cut out of the same mold as that class 2. Transitions into herself extremely well. She's good over her top line, still very comfortable at the ground, maintains some balance. There's probably at times, maybe the heifer behind her has a little more foot size and added bone, but I think this heifer just fits. Everything puts together extremely nice and still maintains enough power and dimension. Super long body, long hip. Dark red heifer out of that 4th class, one that has that added foot size and that added bone structure to go with that mass and dimension that she possesses, and still maintains some length and extension and length of hip and balance. She's kind of a little bit more of a combination heifer of length, balance, and power, and still puts it into a very functional and sound package. The heifer out of the last class, nice duo of females came out of there. The heifer that wins that class was one that we just really liked her from her structural design and her structural integrity when you set her into motion. Maybe in this particular lineup just gives up a little bit of power and dimension. For me, folks, I think it comes down to 2 heifers today. I think there's 2 heifers that got a really, really bright future and that I like tremendous, but I think heifers for me that put it all together and are going to be your champion in reserve is young man right here out of class 4 is going to be our grand champion. It's a single entry. Young man right here out of class 3 is going to be our reserve grand champion. 2 outstanding females. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause.
Third call, Class 7 Miniature Herefords. Third call, Class 7 Miniature Herefords. This is your first call, Class 8, 9, and 10 Miniature Herefords. First call, Class 8, 9, and 10. Congratulations to your grand champion F1 female of your National American Black Hereford Junior Show. Goes to entry number 15, PPH BOK Stylin' Jewels K8, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Your reserve grand champion F1 female goes to entry number 14, CBD Miss Fergie, exhibited by Ben Eady of Lone Grove, Oklahoma. This is your first call, Class 7, 11, and 12. Once again, first call, Class 7, 11, and 12 of your National American Black Hereford Junior Show. Once again, first call, Class 7, 11, and 12 of your percentage females. First call, Class 7, 11, and 12 of your percentage females in your American Black Hereford Junior Show. Congratulations, your champion pre-junior heifer of your miniature Hereford show goes to entry number 7, SBWSS Berry Appealing, exhibited by Connor Neal. Your reserve champion pre-junior heifer goes to entry number 6, SBW Miss Best Mini You Ever Had, exhibited by Deacon James. Congratulations once again to our miniature Hereford exhibitors. This is your second call, Class 8, 9, and 10 miniature Herefords. Second call, Class 8, 9, and 10.
As we jump into our prospect steer division, young man, nice single entry here. Here's a calf that's got some look and balance about him, still maintains some structural integrity off of both ends. One that you'll add, just love the smoothness in transition, his shoulder and his forerib. A steer that's still fresh in his body condition, maintains enough shape up high. That's just a high quality steer that gives you a lot of added look and quality. Congratulations, young man.
Second call, Class 7, 11, and 12, percentage females. Second call, Class 7, 11, and 12, percentage females of your Black Hereford Junior Show.
Here back on our mini Hereford side, just a pair of steers here in our market steer division, and so I thought as nice as both of these calves are, we'll just talk about them here and give these two young men their due here. The calf that is in first in this lineup is a steer that you really like through the front 1/3 of his body. He's flat shouldered, he's good through his chest and his neck. He's still level and strong right in behind his blades. A steer, however, when you get in behind him, he wants to narrow up just a shot more at his pins. He still maintains some shape down low, just like the quality and smoothness and balance. The young man steer that is in the second in this lineup is one that's just really stout and burly, big top, just big bodied, and one that's just so commanding on the standstill. I think is one that is really intriguing because he's so awesome on the move, and to me, within this particular duo, he's just a domineering of a calf in his presentation, just the quality of this animal. Just love the power and dimension, but yet to maintain that structural integrity that he does, I think is quite exceptional. So without a doubt, even though this is a really nice pair of steers, the young steer here to my left is such a dominating creature in my opinion. Young man, you're going to be our grand champion. Young man here in our cowboy hat, he'll be our reserve champion. Congratulations. Let's give these two youngsters a nice round of applause.
Well, we get back over here on our black Hereford side. Congratulations to my little buddy Hendricks over here with his steer. But back over here on with these HX heifers, I'm going to go ahead and use the younger heifer for our champion today. I think you study her, and although she doesn't have quite that performance and weight today, you see maybe just a little more quality, and you read her up through her head, her neck, front end, the way she comes in her top line. I think with that, a heifer that's got an ample amount of body shape and thickness to this age, structurally pretty sound up through that front end, wanting to fight the halter, not just relax and go. But I think you study her angles and you can see she's correct enough there. But when he gets the stick on her, gets her presented there, you can see that extra shot of style and presence that she has. And I think she is one, in terms of condition, just right on with where she should be for her age. Young ladies heifer we have here that's our reserve today, a lot of goodness heifer. She's a big bone, big ribbed one here that has some natural thickness to her. I think as you study her, I'd just like to just see her a little cleaner and neater up through her chest and neck, through that front end, tidy her up there a notch, and maybe just smooth her out through that tail head. Condition-wise, we got her in pretty good shape, and obviously she's performed and put on the pounds, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We sure wouldn't want her to carry much more condition relative to her age here and where she's at in the stage of the game, but a good heifer there. She does a nice job on the halter. Let's give them a round of applause.
Third and final call, Class 8, 9, and 10 miniature Herefords. Third and final call, Class 8, 9, and 10 miniature Herefords. Third and final call, Class 7, 11, and 12. Third and final call, Class 7, 11, and 12. Percentage females of your Black Hereford Junior Show. Result of your HX female show of your American Black Hereford Junior Show. your Class 2 winner, and also your Division 1 champion and your Grand Champion HX female goes to entry number 27, BFA Lucy's Strutter 903L, exhibited by Logan Hetzel of Hillsboro, Ohio. Your reserve champion comes out of your Class 6, and also your Division 2 champion, entry number 30, Sims Cali Red K52, exhibited by Maya Patilda of Purcell, Oklahoma. First call, Class 11, 12, and 13. Miniature Herefords, first call, Class 11, 12, and 13. Results of your Miniature Hereford show. Your Class 6 winner and also your champion pre-junior prospect steer goes to entry number 11, EMP Elvis 46A, exhibited by Deacon James. Your Class 7 results and also your champion and junior market steer in your Miniature Hereford show goes to entry number 46, BKH Flicka Jiffy, exhibited by Hendrix Wilson. Your reserve champion junior market steer goes to entry number 15, 4E Lil Monstrosity, exhibited by Deacon James. First call, all purebred black Hereford females. First call, all purebred black Hereford females to the makeup arena. This includes Class 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10. Once again, first call, all purebred black Hereford females to the makeup arena. Classes 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10.
Nice trio of females here. We jump right into our junior heifer show, and once again, a really nice lead-off heifer that kind of, sticking to the same package what we talked about here just earlier this morning. Heifer that is combination female of style and look and balance, maintains some power. I like the fact that she's comfortable at the ground. I like her extension, her balance at the top side of her shoulders. Her hooks to her pins got some added width and dimension. She's got some nice curvature and drop the middle part of that rib cage. Really square off of both ends. We could elevate her pins just ever so slightly if you want to get ultra critical on that one. We talk about power and balance within this particular class. The younger heifer in this particular group is one that I read with a lot of future. I think she's really good made. Her skeleton design's there. This heifer just needs more time, obviously, but I think this is going to be an ultra competitive female because she's ultra sharp up through that front end, but still maintains some body depth and just overall width. She doesn't have quite as much as that lead-off heifer as she stands today, but I think there's a lot of future in this one. A heifer that's got some power and length of body and length of hip that comes in third is a heifer that just gets a little more unbalanced for me in this particular group. She wants to get a little low in those pins. She wants to tuck those hind legs up underneath her. She's a little thicker up through her neck. She gets just a little bit higher in the way that rear flank attaches. So her balance is what gets her in this particular group. She's got some length of body. She does have some skeletal width. Love her power right up the top side of her blades. She just doesn't have the look and smoothness that the other heifers in this particular group have, but a nice trio, good combination heifer to start the class.
Well, as we start off our percentage Black Hereford show, a nice trio of heifers here, and I think there's some give and take, but for me, the young man's heifer that leads off today, I think just further along in the game, and there's a lot more to that heifer. I think you study her, you like her spring of rib cage, the width through her pins, the dimensions she's carrying, and still does that in a pretty proportional package. I think structurally, she flexes and reaches pretty good, and you like her there. You know, if you're going to change her, you might just refine her over the crest of her neck and through her shoulder just a little bit. But outside of that, I think a really nice heifer. Young man's heifer in second, kind of giving him fits. This is the best look I've got of her the whole time, where she's finally relaxed on the halter just to nickel. You know, one that's big bone and smooth in her top line. Everything ties together pretty good. Probably a little deeper tying in her neck than ideal. We'd change her up there. And heifer I like awfully well. Just preferred the extra mass and shape to that heifer that led off. The young lady's heifer in third, you know, a heifer there that has pretty good weight per div age and performance to her. She's a long-sided heifer. For me, just kind of comes off, gets a little off in her balance, a little heavy up through that front end and wants to taper back up through her flank. Gets a little straight through that front end and ducks herself on the move. So just like to pretty her up a notch in the way she's put together, but a nice trio of heifers that are highly presented.
This young lady. Really, really nice group of heifers here in our second class, in our heifer show, and a little bit of give and take here on this top pair of high quality females. I think the thing that separates both of these females is the young lady's heifer that's going to win. She has that more sheer advantage in length of spine and length of hip, but her correctness from her hooks to her pins is where I think she also excels. She's just a little higher in the way those pins set. She's a little bit wider, but too, when you set these two in motion, I think she's the most comfortable at the ground. So obviously she's got a better set and angle to that rear pastern, and to me that added length and correctness in the way she handles that hind leg, and just fullness and to me squareness from her hooks to her pins. I'd like to see a shot more lower curvature to that rib cage, not necessarily just depth, just a little more lower turn to that bottom part of that rib cage, just to get a little ultra picky on this one. But I love her smoothness and her balance and her structural correctness, and I think she's got to be the one you tie into. The heifer did ends up being, and I think she's probably just a little bolder in that forerib in the way that rib cage turns. But from her hooks back, she wants to get a little bit lower in the way she handles those pins. She gets a little bit tighter in those rear pasterns. She's just not as square and true up high and down at the ground as the heifer that wins the particular class. But from there forward, I think she's really, really neat. She's good shoulder, lug her up through her front end. Heifer that comes in third, I think is just a good, complete heifer. I don't think she quite has the uniqueness that the heifers that go 1 and 2. She's good over her top line. She gets a little flatter at the base of that stifle. Maybe to me just gets a little shorter, more compact. Still love her quality at the ground. A little bigger heifer that ends up being fourth. Balance is what gets this one. I want to change her in the way she handles herself, especially when you set her in motion, the way she wants to get those hind legs way up underneath her. She just gets a little more awkward. And just change her. She gets a little deeper in her chest, a little higher in that rear flank. But it's a heifer that's got some length and some width. Just want to add some added balance and structural correctness and squareness. Good group heifer to lead off that class.
Well, as we get out here for this division, one of these, the older heifer we haven't seen in class yet. And, you know, I'd tell you, she comes out, that's one that gets your attention pretty good. I think you study her. She has a really stylish look from the side. She catches your eye. Really smooth in the way she ties the top of her neck into her shoulder blade, and she comes in her top line. She's a big boned heifer that gets out and strides pretty good as well. You know, in terms of width and body, I think an ample amount there. Just in my mind, a pretty nice heifer there that ties a lot of good in what she brings out here to the ring for me today. The class winner out of that younger class, as I just stated in there, she kind of outmassed everything, and that got her along in terms of her rib shape, her dimension, and her weight. She is a heifer. I think as we study her, I would like to maybe just smooth her up in that shoulder and set her back in her knee just a little bit, maybe neaten her up over her crest and through her tail head. But after that, I love the body width she has, the muscle she has, and that's pretty impressive there. So it's a tough pair for me. I think the one for me that just flows together a little more neatly today, and as I project out, maybe hold together just a little smoother and neater, is going to be this older heifer. She'll be our division champion. Young man, sock-footed heifer will be reserve division. Let's give him a hand.
Third and final call in Class 11. 12 and 13 miniature Herefords. Third and final call in Class 11, 12 and 13. This is your first call, Class 14, 15, and 16 miniature Herefords. First call, Class 14, 15, and 16. Result of Class 8 of your miniature Herefords. In first place goes to entry number 19, B&S Sapphire, exhibited by Max Bear. In second place, entry number 41, Mean Jesse Jean, exhibited by Jet Baker. In third place, entry number 18, B Mini Sassafras, exhibited by Kira Oswald. Your Class 9 results: in first place, entry number 22, KLD Tyrant's Tiny Dancer, K16K, exhibited by Kyra Oswald. In second place, entry number 24, Miss Ellie, exhibited by Emma Havenar. In third place, entry number 21, exhibited by Willa Wetzel. In fourth place, entry number 25, Alec Oswald.
Another really nice duo here in our mini Hereford Heifer show, and a little bit of give and take, but the young ladies heifer, I think, excels this duo in just quality at the ground and symmetry and balance. One that we really like in her lines, her levelness over her top, her quality. I think she easily has an advantage in freedom of movement and flex out of that shoulder down into that knee, and especially when you look at them when as far as added reach and flex in that hock, I'd like to add just a shot more power to her, and that's where that heifer in second has an advantage as far as width and length and power, but doesn't have quite the structural correctness. The power heifer that ends up being second, I think she gets a little stiffer up high. I want to relax her in that hip loin juncture. She gets a little stiffer in that hock, but man, I love the added length and muscle shape that she has. She just doesn't have the balance and athleticism as the young ladies heifer that leads off, but a nice duo, good complete pair of females.
Second call, all purebred females in your Black Hereford Junior Show to the Makeup Arena. Second call, all purebred females to the Makeup Arena. This includes Class 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10. Once again, second call, all purebred Black Hereford females to the Makeup Arena.
You know, certainly an interesting pair of these bred heifers, and I'd be the first to tell you, when we get in these senior yearlings, I like to see them at this point in the game. And we got a December, showing a little more udder for this heifer that leads off. I would just like to see her further along in terms of gestation, but you can tell she's bred. And the thing about it is, after we look at that and we think about that side of it, I do like the spacing of her teats and the size there. I think when she does come to lactation, she's going to have a more functional udder there in the way it develops. But getting past that, that's where she excels. She is a big-footed, really flexible, easy-going heifer. You love the body width, the shape, and the rib cage in her, the dimension behind her, one that has some length and smoothness in her top line. I'd be the first to tell you I'd like to just trim her up a notch in terms of condition and brisket there, but I think that one has a lot of good to her. The young man's heifer we have in second, she's December, and she's showing a little more udder, and I appreciate that about her. She is refining her teat size. We would like to maybe just level that up and change the spacing up there a little bit. She's a little bit gathered, and that's where you tweak on her. But a stylish female that catches your eye. I think she's feminine. She's attractive pattern. She is a heifer that comes to the ground a little straight through that shoulder and knee up front, maybe a little more refined and smaller in her bone work. I'd change her up a notch there just to soften her up and give her a little more dimension to make her more competitive with that top heifer.
Outstanding pair of heifers, outstanding accomplishment for this young lady that's got this lead heifer here. Just a nice duo of females here on this top end. I like both of these heifers quite well. The heifer that's off, I think she kind of puts a lot of nice things together, and to me kind of fits what I've been talking about and kind of describing here throughout this morning. Just a really well balanced female. I think one of the striking features about this one here is that she is so athletic on the move. Just got such a nice reach off of both ends. She really covers her tracks extremely well. She is so good from a skeleton design standpoint. And I think, young man, if you'll bring that second place heifer on around, where I really think this heifer excels is from her hooks to her pins. She's really full and shapely up there and square. She blends just a little bit better in that shoulder back into that forerib. Just an excellent heifer. Give that young lady in that first place heifer a nice round of applause on a job well done on a high quality female. Not to take anything away from this young man's heifer that's in second. I love the added shape, young man. Big top, big hip. She's got a little more added turn right there. She's just a little bit coarser in the way she handles her tail head and her pin structure. She's a little bolder at the base of that shoulder and the way that chest sits into her, but love the added balance. Still there, but to me, it's just a high quality female. Still got some added foot size and bone. That's a nice duo of females there to go first and second. A really classy female comes in third. This young lady does a great job getting this female presented, and we gave up a little bit of power to go along and get one with a shot more balance and look, and that's where we landed with this heifer in third. We sure like to power her up just a little bit more from front to rear, but I like her skeleton design, her added quality at the ground, and the young lady does a great job. Really big-bodied, soft-made one here comes in fourth, and I really appreciate that, young man. And it's a good female, don't get me wrong. She gets a little shorter neck, a little lower out of that neck set, a little deeper in that chest. She's got some width and dimension. She gets a little frail at the ground compared to some of the other heifers, especially the top 2 heifers. We just want to add a little bit more balance, but I love her depth of body and her natural softness and durability. We just want to add some balance and some power at the ground. High quality set, really nice lead heifer to win that particular class.
Well, as we get over here on the Black Hereford side for our percentage show, we have a few single entries in their divisions we haven't discussed yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just run through the lineup and kind of tell you what I see in the cattle before I select my champions. Our youngest division, again, that was a competitive division between those 2 heifers, and both really nice in their own regard. The heifer that I led off with, for me in that particular division, I thought just tied in a little smoother through her shoulder, shot more bone to her, and just a little more neatness in the way she's put together. But really like that socket-legged heifer there in second as well in terms of just having a few more pieces, in terms of boldness and thickness. Just like to see her a little more feminine and refined. We get the young ladies heifer next in the lineup, second there from my right. That's one I haven't seen yet. That's in August, I believe, and one that's really striking, super attractive on the profile, one that has some feminine character about her head, the way she ties into the rest of her body. I like her smoothness there, and I think one that excels in terms of soundness as we compare her and just the way she gets out through the ring. You know, as we go from there and we look at body and width, doesn't overwhelm you, but I think certainly adequate and ties together a nice package. The next heifer in the lineup, I believe, was a September. I like this bald-faced female as well. You love the big bone, thick-ended kind of a heifer here that has some body shape to her, just maybe not quite as balanced. She wants to round and get off from hooks to pins, not quite as attractive through that front third of her body. Next heifer in the lineup, I believe he said was a January. You know, standing there, there's parts about her I really like. I think she's one that provides some levelness at top line. She progressively deepens back through that rear rib and flank. I like the heaviness of structure underneath her and some femininity. However, I would like to maybe just see her a notch wider built. More than anything for me, I'd like to see her flex and reach and move more accurately on those back two when she gets on the stride. Then our big senior yearling heifer, you like the body mass, the dimension and bone work to her. You would like to see her dialed up quite a bit in terms of gestation relative to her age, and I would like to trim her up in condition. So again, a very high quality lineup. Let's give these kids a round of applause. I'll go show you the 2 I like the best.
Just a single entry back on our mini Hereford side, and boy, here the young man brings us an awfully good one. Boy, this thing is really soft and good at the ground, has some added width and chest floor about her, just naturally soft. And I love that depth of forerib and the way she carries it back, and she does it in such a balanced fashion. Her width and levelness over her top, and still maintains with all the softness and just balance that she possesses from her shoulders back. She still maintains enough feminine characteristics up through her front end. I think this one's exceptional at the ground. Just a good, soft, good-looking female that's got some added width and dimension. High-quality female for that young man.
Second call, class 14, 15, and 16, mini Herefords. Second call, class 14, 15, and 16. Third and final call, all purebred black Hereford females to the makeup arena. Third and final call, all purebred black Hereford females to the makeup arena. This includes class 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10. Results from your black Hereford percentage female show. Your class 7 winner goes to entry number 631, MKCC Rosie K9. exhibited by Keston Gorman of Aberdeen, Illinois. Your Class 11 winner goes to entry number 571, CT's Triple Ureros, exhibited by Colt Thomas of Phil Campbell, Alabama. Your Class 12 results: in first place, entry number 632, MKCC Lily's Queen of Hearts, exhibited by Keston Gorman of Aberdeen, Illinois. In second place, entry number 59, Triple T's 82J Jolly by ILR, exhibited by Montgomery Mormon of Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Congratulations, your grand champion percentage female in your National American Black Hereford Junior Show goes to entry number 50, BLZ Lady JoJo 7104, exhibited by Marilyn Ugg of Canesville, Missouri. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 47, BFA Fashion Ladies Symphony, exhibited by Logan Hetzel of Hillsboro, Ohio.
Once again, a really nice duo of females here, and just quality and balance. That is what the best describes the young man's Heifer that leads off. First and foremost, man, I really like this thing when you set her into motion. She is just so comfortable at the ground. Her flex in her pasterns translates into her knee and her hock, all up in her stifle joint and all the way up into her shoulder. I really, really like the way this one gets out and go. And then on the standstill, she's got some balance and symmetry in her lines, maintains enough depth and into that fore rib, back into that rear flank. She's just very, very complete in a very athletic skeletal build like her quite well. A little longer, more powerful female that comes in second. She gets a little bit more unbalanced. She's a little more uncoordinated off of those hind legs when you set her into motion. She's a little deeper in her chest in relation to her rear flank and in that lower turn to that middle part of that rib cage. We just like to change that about her, but still added length of body and performance in that particular female. Just love the added look and balance in our class winner. Nice duo of females.
Results of Class 10 of your miniature Herefords: in first place, entry number 26, KLD Kit's Dream Girl for 77K, exhibited by McKenna Camp. In second place, entry number 27, KLD Scarlet Storm 66K, exhibited by Payne Meek. Your Class 11 results: in first place, entry number 31, KLD Ella Louise 924K, exhibited by Amelia Cragen. In second place, entry number 30, QM Princess Sophia, exhibited by Garrett Floor. In third place, entry number 29, FCC Queen Elizabeth, exhibited by McKenna Camp. In fourth place, entry number 28, KAL Slick Autumn Tricks, exhibited by August Brockhouse. Results of Class 12 of your miniature Herefords: in first place, entry number 33, For Wiley Cherry on Top, exhibited by Walker Wiley. Your Class 13 results: in first place, entry number 35, For Wiley CC's Miracle, exhibited by Walker Wiley. In second place, entry number 34, Do Miss Spot, exhibited by Alec Oswald. Third and final call, Class 16 miniature Herefords. Third and final call, Class 16. This is your first call, Class 17. First call, Class 17 miniature Herefords. Attention in the barns, we will now be calling for your National American Black Hereford Open Show. This is your first call for your cow-calf pair in your F1 female show. Once again, first call for your cow-calf pair in F1 female show of your Open Black Hereford show. This includes class 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9.
Another really nice duo of females here. Once again, balance and quality and structure separates this particular duo. The balance of the young man's heifer that leads off, her smoothness and that transition and that shoulder and that forerib, her strength and levelness over her top and her hooks to her pins, the quality and the way she handles that hind leg, both on the standstill and when you set them into motion, I think is where these two really separate themselves. The lead heifer is one that's really good at that particular part as far as when you set her into motion. She just handles that hind leg with more authority and squareness, and when she plants it into the ground. Added with that, she's got some smoothness and some look and some balance. Really, really good, complete female. Hereford coming in next, I think, is one that just gets a little bit more uncoordinated, especially at the ground. And to me, when we want to just square that hind leg up a little bit more. Then from her shoulders forward, she just gets a little bit more open at that shoulder. She gets a little coarser about that front end compared to our heifer that leads off. Doesn't have quite that balance and symmetry, but it's still a high quality female with some added length of body and length and extension. Just to me, one heifer that just want to simply balance her up just a little bit more to get her any higher. A high quality set, really good complete heifer to win that class.
Second call, class 17, miniature Hereford. Second call, class 17.
Another high quality single entry. To me, Hereford at once again, quality at the ground. Set this one into motion. Very flexible off of both ends. A female that's still balanced in her lines, got some added depth of that forerib and rear flank. Still maintains enough skeletal width when you get in behind her. Just a good complete female that has that enough look and extension up through her front end, but still maintains that quality at the ground we're looking for. Compliments to this young man on a really nice single entry. Class winner, well deserving.
Third and final call, Class 17, Miniature Herefords. Third and final call, Class 17.
Well, as we start off our Purebred Black Hereford show, to me this pair of heifers is really interesting because there's give and take in them, and a time will tell. But for me, the young lady's heifer to lead off with, I think today she's one that just brings some more striking pieces to the ring. There's a lot of breeding value in that one, just extreme in terms of her body width and shape, and still putting some style and balance and symmetry with it. Where you'd change her is I would just like to, for me, just smooth her up in her build and see her bigger footed and just a little easier going. And she's fighting the halter some, still steps her track, but kind of drops her pins and has to reach underneath herself to get there. Gets a little more forward in her shoulder. But big thing, I'd like to see a little more foot underneath her, and to me, dimension there to match up with that body mass and shape that she has. Young man's heifer in second. This is a really long-sided one, and if he'll do a good job with her in time, I think that one can beat her, because I do think this one does have a little advantage in terms of flexibility and reach in her structure. She's really long-sided, smooth-made. Just out here today, there's just not enough of her yet. She's a little flatter made, a little narrower, but I think as big breds, that one could hold together a little bit better. Just the other one has the edge today, but a nice pair of heifers.
Well, folks, it's certainly been an honor and a privilege here to sort your Mini Hereford Junior show this morning. And I know we got some showmanship yet to do. And we had an outstanding pre-junior show here this morning, and then a nice little group of steers. And so first and foremost, I compliments the exhibitors and the breeders of these cattle in an outstanding set. And with that being said, why don't you give yourselves and your association staff a nice round of applause on an awesome set of cattle you brought here to Louisville, Kentucky this morning. I've sure been fortunate in my program over the last years. My wife and my kids, this is probably, I think, the fourth time that I've got to judge at the North American, and it's always such an esteemed honor. I've judged several junior nationals of many different breeds, and to me, any time I take on a judging job, I sure take it with a lot of heart, because this is what I do for a living and have for the last 20 plus years, and so I know what it takes to get these cattle ready and get them to this national level show, and so I come out here with I take the job serious, and I think sometimes within this industry, we all know how important these shows are and how important we got to take, this job when you get asked to judge any breed of any show, regardless if it's in a breed that you're affiliated with or not. And so to me, this mini Hereford show here has been outstanding. I think you guys are doing a great job with these kids. I think you're doing a great job with these cattle. I think it's just an impressive set from top to bottom. To really go through back in each one of these heifers, I think there's a lot of quality within these, and take up much more time and mic time to talk about each and every one. I think there's a pair of heifers out here that are going to end up winning this show that I think combined a lot of things that I sure like and been looking for without this morning. Their quality and their structural build, maintain enough look and balance, and still, put all that quality together. Because for me, within our cattle industry and wherever you're doing, it's all about that. It's about balance. It's not single trait selecting. It's not doing this. It's not trying to be the thickest. It's not trying to be the biggest. It's not this. We want the combination cattle. We want the cattle that put it all together as far as soundness, the right structural build, still maintain the look, feed efficiency. We want these cattle still to be practical with certain wow factors. And I think in this particular lineup, there's two females that particularly do that. If you could, we'll go out here and select those two females. Let's give all these kids a nice round of applause, and we'll pick you a pair of champions.
Your champion junior heifer of your miniature Hereford show goes to entry number 33 for Wiley Cherry on Top, exhibited by Walker Wiley.
Here in this class on the black Hereford side, a nice pair of heifers here. I think two good cattle in my mind. For me, young lady's heifer leads off, just comes to us today. She's ready to show. She's got a lot of good going for her. One that's stylish in terms of her makeup and catches your eye. And with that, there's some other things you like awfully well. I think there's plenty of width of chest, spring and rib to her and dimension. But you do like that look and proportion and balance she has from the side, just ties in really good there. Where I really like some traits about her, I think she excels the other heifer from her hook bone to pin in terms of not only levelness but width there. That heifer maybe is just a little more forward in her knee than ideal, and that's where the young lady's heifer in second, I think, excels her. I love the extension of this heifer. I think she's long-fronted and long-sided. She's better in the set to her knee and the way she uses that angle up front. Just for me, wants to get off a little bit and drop her pins there on the move. Not quite as attractive in the way she plants that hind leg and gives up a shot of width to our class winner, but two good cattle there that have a lot of utility and value.
Congratulations, your reserve champion junior heifer goes to entry number 31, KLD Ella Louise, 924K, exhibited by Amelia Cragen. Second call for your cow-calf pair and also your F1 females of your Black Hereford Open Show. Second call, cow-calf pair and all F1 females that include Class 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9 to the makeup arena. Results of your purebred female show of your Black Hereford Junior show. In first place, class number 2 goes to entry number 7095. CA Empress 903D, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Your Class 3 results go to, in first place, entry number 633, MKCC Keston's Refresh, exhibited by Keston Groman of Abingdon, Illinois. Your Division 1 champion goes to entry number 68, CA Empress 903D, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 69, MKCC Kenton's Refresh, exhibited by Keston Groman of Abingdon, Illinois.
Well, as we get out of here for our champion, Purebred Black Hereford, a really nice lineup again, and we have some division champs we haven't talked about yet. So I'm going to run through the lineup real quick and tell you what I see in the cattle. Our youngest heifer down here on my right, again, one that's just impressive for the amount of width she has and muscularity. Really an outlier there, I would think, in terms of breeding value, and still ties it together with some proportion. You know, for me, maybe she's one we're going to have to watch. She could get a little rounder, a little more bound up down low in the way she handles her feet and legs, but I think there is a lot of interesting pieces there. Young lady's heifer next in the lineup came out of a nice class of heifers there, both good cattle. For me, her stoutness and style meet up extremely well, and she's one, I think you study her structurally, still okay, you know, maybe could just reach a little bit better out of that front end, but I think a nice heifer there that certainly is a player out here in the drive. Young man's next heifer comes out here, and that's one we haven't discussed yet. I really like the maternal character about her. To me, just one that just reeks of just brood cow character in terms of not only her rib cage and the way her body's laid in her, but even her head and her front end, the way she ties together. She's sound on her feet and legs. You know, doesn't overwhelm you in terms of width, but certainly enough there. Might give her a shot more bone to match up with that body type, but I like that female. The young man's oldest heifer comes out here, and that's one that catches your attention for her eye appeal, just really striking, smoothing her top line, extended, the way things tie together. With that, she does have a shot more true body shape and width as you get in behind her. Another one, I think, structurally, I think she's sound enough on these feet and legs. You know, maybe don't have quite that drop in her rear rib and flank yet, but I think as that one becomes heavier bred, she's going to be even more impressive. Again, an awfully nice lineup of purebred black Hereford heifers. I'll go show you your champions. Before I do, please give these exhibitors a round of applause.
This is just one class here in our prospect steer division, and so I opted to just bring each one of these guys kind of back out here, and I figured we kind of got a lightweight, a middleweight, and a heavyweight, and so I figured we'd just talk about each one of them. The younger calf here is one that I think's got a good skeleton design, young lady. I think this calf's got a bright future. I think to me, one that he comes at us really fresh and green, and that's okay. He's just getting his show career started. I think his skeleton design is way on the upside. I like his flexibility when he relaxes. I think there's some balance and symmetry within this calf. If he continues to feed well and power up, I think that's going to be an awfully good calf. The calf in the middle, or to me, is one that's a little bit more domineering. These particular three on the standstill. He's big top, he's square made, he's good, balances in the lower 1/3. I think he still gives you a good look up through his front end. Where I'd like to change him, young man, is just when you set him into motion. At times he wants to get just a little bit awkward in his hawk down into his pastern, but I love the added width and shape that he possesses, his quality and squareness of look. I still think that's a high quality calf. Just want to change that just ever so slightly, and I think that one's awfully good. Young lady's calf that comes out of this third class, call him the heavyweight, a steer that I like his muscle shape. He's shapely when you get in behind him. He's big over his top. He's got some length. He's extended up through his front end. I'd like to power him up, especially compared to the two calves in front of him as far as foot size and bone work. But to me, also, when you set him into motion, he's very athletic. He gets out and goes extremely nice. Still maintains some balance from his chest floor on back. I'd like to just power him up and square him up just a little bit from his hooks to his pins. But I love his athleticism. I like his muscle shape and his extension up through his front end. So probably for me today, though, still comparing these calves and giving a little bit of give and take, the one that probably still, I think, still puts a lot of the qualities together, and just as far as balance and soundness and that sort, it's going to be our young lady here to my left, the third one. She's going to be our champion prospect. Young man out of the middle class will be our reserve champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your grand champion percentage female of your 2023 National American Black Hereford Junior Show. Your grand champion percentage Black Hereford female goes to entry number 50. BLZ Lady JoJo 7104, exhibited by Marilyn Egg of Canesville, Missouri. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 47. BFA Fashion Ladies Symphony, exhibited by Logan Hensel of Hillsboro, Ohio.
Just a single entry here in our market steer show, and boy, here's a nice calf the young man brings to town, especially one on a standstill. He's square and he's stout and he's powerful and he still maintains some balance and symmetry. There's probably at times we could flex him or just give a little more flex to that spine when you set him into motion, but just a commanding, powerful steer on the standstill that maintains that balance and symmetry with shape and turn to his rib cage and his muscle pattern. High quality calf the young man brings. Let's give him a nice round of applause on our champion market steer. High quality calf, young man.
Your Class 16 results of your miniature Hereford show in first place and also your champion junior prospects here goes to entry number 45, THF Chosen 313, exhibited by Jordan Chavera. Your reserve champion junior prospect steer goes to TBR 28, entry number 44, exhibited by Jordan Chavera. In third place, entry number 43, FCC Churro, exhibited by Maddie Floor. Your champion junior market steer from class number 17 goes to entry number 46, EL Sam, exhibited by Trenton Havinar. Now exhibiting in the miniature Hereford ring is the beginning of your showmanship competition with Division 25 of your pre-junior showmen. All miniature Hereford showmen to the makeup arena. All miniature Hereford showmen to the makeup arena. Results of your purebred female show of your American Black Hereford Junior show. Your Class 2 winner goes to entry number 68, CA Empress 903D, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Your Class 3 results in first place, and also your Division 1 reserve champion goes to entry number 69, MKCC Keston's Refresh, exhibited by Keston Gorman of Abingdon, Illinois. Your Class 4 results. In first place, and also your Division 2 champion, goes to entry number 72, CF Miss Kennedy, K23, exhibited by Emily Tabor of Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Your Reserve 2 reserve champion goes to entry number 73, MKCC Crystal Gale, exhibited by Keston Gorman of Abingdon, Illinois. Your Class 8 winner and also your Division 3 champion goes to entry number 77, SKLN Stephanie 2201K, exhibited by Rory Burney of Cadiz, Ohio. Your Class 10 winner and also your Division 4 champion goes to entry number 80, BCC 711 Satisfied at G192, exhibited by Landon Ellison of Lexington, Alabama. Your grand champion and purebred female of your 2023 National American Black Hereford Junior Show goes to entry number 80, BCC 711 Satisfied, G192, exhibited by Landon Ellison of Lexington, Alabama. Your reserve champion and purebred female goes to entry number 77, SKLN Stephanie 2201K, exhibited by Rory Burney of Cadiz, Ohio. This is your third and final call, cow-calf pairs, and also your F1 females for your American Black Hereford Open Show. Third and final call, all F1 females and cow-calf pairs.
Well, as we wind down our junior show on the Black Hereford side with our Supreme Female selection, it's truly been an honor to get to come and judge, and it's always a true joy and to judge at the North American Livestock Exposition here in Freedom Hall. This is a special place, and nothing like this in the world. Getting to judge in this venue, and the history of this show to me is one, particularly in North America, is unmatched. Just truly an honor, and getting to work with this breed. And I've said this before, but I think what you guys are doing as breeders and as an association moving forward and being progressive is something that is tremendous and going to definitely, I think, just continue to enrich your breed and what y'all mean to the breed industry moving forward, or the beef industry moving forward. Along with Ernie there that you have heading that up. He's doing a great job and represents you extremely well and is certainly respected in our industry. As we get out here for Supreme, like all these females, but to me there's one that just really overwhelms you in terms of not only is she a good show heifer, but more importantly, when it comes to cow basics and fundamentals, this one just excels in my mind. She's extremely athletic. She's great in her rib cage and her function and body type. And yes, she certainly gets your attention when you look at her from the side. I'm going to go select her in just a second. Again, it's been a true honor. The kids have done a great job. Let's give them a big round of applause, please.
Well, folks, like I said earlier, I've sure been asked to do a lot of judging jobs and judge national junior showmanships and a lot of big shows, big junior nationals, the Hereford junior nationals and such. This might be one of the most challenging classes I've ever had. These four youngsters out here, we aged 5 and 6 years old, and so my compliments to the parents of each and every one of these. This is a difficult situation. All four of these kids are really, really good. And before we go any further, let's give all four of these kids a real nice round of applause, because this is extremely impressive. And to me, this is what always kind of lights the fire. And to me, all the craziness in the world, and we don't need to go into any of that, but this past weekend and here at the North American and the cattle sales, and I think it's just a blessing that we are fortunate to be in this industry and to bring these kids up in this industry here, because there's not many 5 and 6 year olds that get this chance and opportunity. And this industry and these shows and everything, this is what's shaping our future. And so to see the positivity, the immenseness, and the amount of people that we had this weekend, and these little youngsters out here, it kind of makes me go home and keep trying to do a better job with our cattle and operation, because not only are we raising cattle, but man, this industry, we're shaping people and we're shaping lives and making a difference, and that's what this world really, really needs. Without a doubt, this is one of the most challenging things, and so judging these showmanships after the fact that there are a pair of individuals out here I thought really came out and they were working hard in their classes, and I think they're going to represent this particular champion in reserve quite well. This young lady with this high quality heifer out of first, she's going to be our grand champion showman in our Pee Wee division. Congratulations, young lady. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Good job, sweetie. Young lady that I see a tremendous future. She comes out here, she's working really, really hard. She was working hard in her class. Young lady, you're going to be our reserve champion showman. Congratulations.
Congratulations to your Supreme Champion female of your 2023 National American Black Hereford Junior Show. Goes to entry number 15, PPHBLK Style and Jewels, K8, exhibited by Sammy Neff of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. First call, all HX females to the makeup arena. First call, all HX females to the makeup arena of your Black Hereford Open show. At this time, we'd like to introduce our judge today for your 2023 National American Black Hereford Open Show, Mr. P.J. Butler. P.J. was raised on a fifth-generation cattle operation in South Africa. At age 15, he founded Bonhaven Beef Cattle. Between 1996 and 2012, he grew Bonhaven to 5 locations in 3 southern African countries. The Hereford, Angus, Red Angus, Braford, and Brahman herds achieved much success, winning numerous national shows and setting auction records on the continent. In 2012, PJ relocated to Texas, where he is the international business manager for Transova Genetics. This position, together with running the annual Champion of the World competition, judging shows, speaking at events, and doing cattle consulting, has taken him to 48 U.S. states and 106 different countries thus far. He has judged 90 different cattle breeds in 43 countries. In 2017, PJ became the first ever cattle judge to judge a national show on all 6 continents. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our judge today, Mr. PJ Butler.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and before we start our National Black Hereford Show, I just want to thank the North American International Livestock Exposition for allowing me to be a part of this prestigious event. Freedom Hall is obviously a venue and an institution that is famous worldwide. It's a privilege to stand on these green shavings. And also I want to thank the Black Hereford Association, Ernie Dominguez and his team, for entrusting me with the microphone and allowing me to evaluate your cattle. Ernie does a tremendous job with this breed, and I'm excited to see all this year's hard work culminating in this national show. Before I start judging, I always like just sharing 3 brief philosophies of what I'll do during the day. It just keeps me on track, and hopefully you guys can follow with what my logic is. But I'm looking for cattle that can eat, walk, and reproduce. And then secondly, I'm focusing on the 4 most important economic traits in a cattle operation. So those are longevity, adaptability, fertility, and functional efficiency. Now you'll notice I didn't mention milk and muscle, growth, marbling. Those are all very important traits, but they're irrelevant if we don't lay the foundation with those aforementioned fundamental traits. And then I do believe that quality livestock come in different sizes and shapes and colors. It's easy to make black ones and white ones, red ones, horned ones, polled ones. It's easy to make big ones and little ones. The art of breeding lies in making good cattle. So you've given me the job to decide what I deem a good one is, and your job as breeders and exhibitors ringside is to decide whether my good one fits your objectives, your resources, and then most importantly, your environment. Really nice cow-calf unit here to represent our cow-calf division. There's just one entry in this division, but a really high-quality functional cattle. A really nice udder on this female, good udder floor, teats nicely spaced and sized, pointing plumb down. There's good flexibility and good skeleton on this female too. She could maybe have a little bit more rib shape and thickness and muscle, but I think she's functional, and I like how maternal she is through her skull and through her neck and through her shoulder, doing a decent job on that heifer calf. Very, very nice exhibit to win this title. Congratulations to the exhibitors.
Back on our mini Hereford side, we get right into our intermediate showmanship division, and a good set of kids from top to bottom, no doubt. I think to me, this is a quality set, and I think most of you guys have really got the basics and fundamentals down. And to me, there's two individuals out here that I think that kind of hit me hard as far as their skills when we were doing the regular show itself, and putting those things together. Because one thing about showmanship, it's simply put, it's who can exhibit their animal the best and the most efficiently in the smoothest and quickest way possible. And I think our champion did that quite well. And to me, she was clearly one of the better showmans I saw today. This young lady right here, she's going to be our champion and showman. Great young lady. And for our reserve, I think a young man that's got a really good heifer that did a really outstanding job, and is just right there with this young lady in this particular division. Young Brian right here, boy hat, did a great job. Congratulations. Good job, buddy.
Second call, all HX females of your American Black Hereford Open Show to the makeup arena. All HX females to the makeup arena. This includes Class 2 and 6.
This young man's our single entry in our junior division. A great young man, and with a really high quality prospect. Young man's got the basics down. And like he informed me, this is her first show, so sometimes those don't act always the best, but a high quality young man that it's got all the basics down and well deserving of being our champion junior showman. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Two really nice heifer calves here, and I like the heifer to win this class because she's just a little bit better in her skeleton. She's stronger over loin, a little wider at her base with a slightly more chest floor, but she's still very feminine and maternal through her head and neck and shoulder. Where she really impresses me is in that forerib, how deep and soft she is in her flank, and she's still nicely muscled over her top hip and rump. So a very well balanced, sound and athletic female to win the class. Second place female's got a lot of good in her too. She's maternal in her skull and neck as well. She's good enough through her shoulder, so she's got some reach and flexibility through her shoulder, but she gets a little weaker in her loin that picks her tail head up a bit, and I'd like to widen her at her base and through her pin bones. Two very nice females. Congratulations.
Our last division of the day, the senior showmanship here on the mini Hereford side. Certainly been an honor and a privilege to evaluate your cattle and your kids today. And to me, what a great show and what a great program the Miniature Hereford Association has put together for many, many, many years. Out here in this particular showmanship division, I think there's two that do a lot of things quite well, and just maybe one does it just a little bit more efficiently and just a tad bit smoother. Young man up here at first, he's going to be our grand champion senior showman. Young lady right back here, Bureau Reserve champion. A great job, great set of kids. Sure appreciate the opportunity.
Congratulations to your showmanship champions here in your miniature Hereford show. Your champion pre-junior showmanship went to Ava Henderson. Your reserve champion pre-junior went to Jessa Taylor. Your champion junior showmanship winner goes to Max Bear. Your champion intermediate showman winner goes to McKenna Camp. And your reserve champion intermediate showman goes to Johnny King. Your champion senior showman goes to Walker Wiley, and your reserve champion senior showman goes to Maddie Floor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together today for your miniature Hereford exhibitors. Third and final call, all HX females to the makeup arena. Third and final call, all HX females of your Black Hereford Open Show to the makeup arena. This is your first call, all percentage females. First call, all percentage females in your Black Hereford Open Show to the makeup arena. This includes class 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 11.
Over in our F1 show and the Black Hereford National Show, we've got a trio of really intriguing females. The heifer that wins the class, she's the massive female, tremendous amount of muscle, but she's maternal and feminine enough considering how much body and how much mass and density she has. A lot of foot and bone under this female. Now, she's a little more boulder shouldered than I'd maybe like, a little more cresty than would be ideal, but it takes a big hammer to drive a big nail, and there is a big nail in this female here. And she's not coarse, she's not terminal, she's fully maternal, she's soft-bodied and easy fleshing to go with all that width and power. So outstanding female to lead off the class. Second place female, now she is flatter necked, smoother shouldered, so she is nicer fronted perhaps, and she does transition back into that forearm really nicely. She is narrower based though. She's narrow through her pin, so she picks her tail head up a little bit because of that. Hasn't quite got the lower rib shape of the heifer ahead of her, but really functional. That's what I like about her. She's efficient, there's enough muscle, there's enough mass, there's certainly enough maternal, so that a good female that's just got enough of everything, but maybe not quite the power and excellence of the female ahead of her. And then in third place, a nice female on the stand. I like how well balanced she is from nose to tail. It's just when she gets on the move, I'd like to relax her a little bit in her spine and just make her slightly more accurate in the way she places her hind feet as she moves away from me.